everyone, welcome back to another 2v2 battle. I am playing as the Minotaurs, or I mean the Beastmen, but with mostly Minotaurs and a giant in the middle. So we have a group of Minotaurs with shields, and then 3 Minotaurs without shields. It's pretty simple. We also have a giant, we have a brave shaman of the beast, and then a generic beast lord who, they just look really cool. They just look really cool. And it is currently on small units, I guess because someone in this game didn't have it set onto ultra, I don't know. But my ally of the Bretonnians have 3 spearmen, they have 2 mounted yeomen, 2 mounted yeomen archers, they have 2 Pegasus Knights, the king on a hippogriff, 2 of the field trebuchets, a paladin, I think 2 Grail Knights? Just 1 Grail Knight. Maybe just 1 Grail Knight. That sound that you just heard is me summoning my Manticore, and we are going to be fighting against the Dwarves and the Empire today. So we have some gyrocopters going out to the side. The Dwarven line here, we have an organ gun, we have a front line of dwarf warriors with great weapons, and then longbeards. We have a group of slayers, we have Ungrim Iron Fists, some Iron Breakers, and then a couple of the quarrelers behind them. For the Empire, we have a 4 groups, of great swords, 2 crossbows. We have the Karl Franz on a horse, a light wizard, 3 spearmen, and then 2 Demigryph Knights. One of them has halberds. So, in this battle, it was an interesting one. Right here in the battle, I was typing to my ally this whole time saying to use your Pegasus Knights to shut down the gyrocopters. I don't know if they saw chat or if they finally decided to do it, but here they go. They are sending their Pegasus Knights against these choppers. The Pegasus Knights will do amazing against them. The reason I was telling them this was because the field trebuchets were targeting these gyrocopters that fly. Not a great idea. And you can see this organ gun has been pulled up. I was telling them to move their mounted yeomen. I was telling them to use their field trebuchets against the organ gun because you outranged them. And I was using the painting tools. I was just circling like a madman. Just like, look, dude, you're getting shot. I was typing it, I was circling. So this is an interesting battle. The field trebuchets are still targeting the gyrocopters that the Pegasus Knights clearly have. Like, the gyrocopters are dead. There's no reason to shoot them with your field trebuchet. Meanwhile, the first group of mounted yeomen is getting rushed off the field because of the organ guns. And now the organ guns are going to start shooting into these mounted yeomen here. I am moving to the side because my current plan right now is to flank the enemy dwarf with our units. Almost everything here is armor piercing, so I want to try and knock the dwarves out first if I can. Because at this point I'm like, this may be resting on my shoulders. I'm not going to say carry the game. I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying sometimes someone has to do a little bit more, maybe. Because you notice that really none of these units have moved at all. Which is very interesting. So here we go. The mounted yeomen are getting shot up by this organ gun. I think the Empire starts moving up at this point when they see me moving off to the sides. I think they may view that as an opportunity to come over here and attack the Bretonnian player. Finally, the field trebuchets start going down on the organs. Organ guns over here. They're not the most accurate of siege engines, though, but at least they're putting suppression on the organ guns at this point. We have routed off the gyrocopters as well. I'm now marching back over here, seeing that the Empire player is moving forward. And then I believe I'm going to march once again out to the right flank. I was maybe getting a little flustered. I don't know, because I kept circling places on the map, because now their mounted yeomen did not move at all. They just absorbed all that organ gun fire. Now this person is putting the spearmen out on the flank by their own to get shot up by the organ gun once again. And I just kept circling. I just kept circling. I know you can't see it. I wish you could see those paints in this replay, but I was circling like a madman. And I kept typing in the chat. I'm like, listen, pull back your spears. We're going to hold them. And I drew a line at this rock. I said, hold them right there. And I'm going to sweep around to the right. You're going to hold. I'm going to swing. Okay? That's how it's going to do it. But I don't think my ally was paying attention to the chat at all. Which is why I was using the drawing tools, but they still weren't really listening. So the spearmen are kind of put out here in the front. Luckily, the organ guns are not just sitting there shooting them up. I guess they're trying to go into range. I don't even know what they're going into range for, honestly. They can't shoot the field trebuchets because this giant rock is in the way. I don't know, maybe that's what the player clicked on, thinking that they can maybe shoot through the rocks. I don't know. But you can see these crossbows are getting pretty close. Light Wizard casting a magic missile on these spears. Kind of a waste of Winds of Magic, a little bit. But I mean, if the target's just standing there, sure, why not? Hit him. And so I'm like, well, let's do it. Let's just see if I can fight these people. So I'm going to be moving our army of Minotaurs out. The idea was to mix my Minotaurs in with the spearmen of the Bretonnians so that the spearmen and the Minotaurs could work together to, you know, crush people. I'm like, well, no, that's not going to happen. I'm just going to be by myself over here. So here we go. We're going to be charging this Dwarven line. I thought it was a good opportunity because they are now moving and they're out of formation. And I want to silence this organ gun. So I'm about to send my Manticore, which I had out in reserve back here, along with my Brave Shaman. And my Manticore is now going to be marching up to the organ gun, which is now just massacring all these spearmen. Just standing out there. I don't know why. But here comes the charge of the Minotaurs into the side of the Dwarven line. And we're going to try and spread out our Minotaurs to get maximum damage. Again, I'm sorry about the small units, but, you know, that's out of my hands. I want to play with Ultra, but sometimes it's not going to work. You can see the Empire player over there is now showering them with some crossbow fire. My Manticore is into the organ guns. And our Giants and our Minotaurs are just going to be going down this Dwarven line formation. My Gorbals are swinging out to the side to try and get into these Quarrelers. There goes the Happy Bull. Yeah, get that Iron Breaker. Oh, my apologies, friends. I forgot the cinematic mode. Yeah. There we go. That's what you like to see. So throughout this battle, I am casting... Let me actually stop here for a moment, because that's a long range. Oh god, we're going to have to go all the way up, won't we? I forget what it's called. I think it's Pan's Impenetrable Defense? Is that what it is? Let's see. Oh, this is Wisting's Wild Farm. Okay, so it's weapon damage and armor in a very wide area if you overcast it. So I'm casting that spell throughout this battle to try and destroy the enemy as quick as possible. Meanwhile, the Bretonnians are kind of pulling back. They're moving a unit here and there. I don't know. I don't know. Like, they still have not moved their Grail Knights. I don't know what they're doing. But meanwhile, we are still just trying to terrorize the Dwarven army. Again, all these Minotaurs are armor-piercing. So an army of Minotaurs is not exactly what a opponent wants to see. We do have some Pegasus Knight support coming in, though. Our Manticore took out the organ gun, is now trying to shut down these Quarrelers, because the Quarrelers are one of the biggest threats. You have low armor as Minotaurs, so with the Quarreler fire, they can actually do some damage. Our Gorbal has 2 potions of healing, technically, so I threw him into the Slayers, because I know he can heal through the damage. Manticore looking badass. Ungrim Iron Fist is over here somewhere, causing a lot of damage to one of our Minotaur groups. And we have the help of the King now, too. In fact, it's that group. They routed and they're coming back. Yeah, Pegasus Knights taking out some routing Quarrelers. For some reason, the Empire player didn't just rush this position immediately, but they do have their Demigryph Knights back here mopping up the cav that's just not really moving. These peasant bowmen haven't moved yet. At this point, I stopped using the drawing and I stopped talking in team chat because I just didn't see a point at this point. But luckily, our Minotaurs are just having a grand old time mowing through some dwarves. And you can see they have done that job very, very well. This is why I targeted the dwarf player first, because we just chew through their armor with almost every unit we have. And it shows. We took out hammerers, we took out iron breakers pretty quickly. Our units are still relatively okay, except for a couple of Minotaur groups here and there. And right here, I'm actually trying to disengage from Ungrim because he's just a waste of my time. Here comes the Grail Knights. Yeah, Grail Knights. Yeah, cool. Meanwhile, the Empire is mopping out the field trebuchets and just kind of getting free kills over here. We are continuing to try and destroy the Dwarven player, because they do come back from routing. Dive and tackle, friends. Dive and tackle. Demigryph Knights just doing whatever they want to. Like, this group hasn't moved. This group hasn't moved! I was relying on you to keep my Brave Shaman safe. Look at it, they're just sitting there! What are you doing? What are you doing? Light Wizard and Carl Franz are back here as well, destroying the peasant bows that I don't even think fired a shot. We did get the enemy lord, so that's good. The Grail Knights and the King got Ungrim Iron Fist, so that was nice. So now we are lining up to meet up with the Empire army now. We've taken a beating. They have crossbows, so I'm a little wary of that. You can see them taking down our Minotaurs. It's fine. We shoot through one army. Why not do a 1v2? It's totally okay. We're Minotaurs, right? We're strong. So we're whipping these Gorbles and Minotaurs out to the flank because I want to get behind the spears and try to get to the crossbows. And right here I'm going to try and disrupt them with our Manticore. Because I just can't take that focus fire. You can see they're damaging our Giant as well. Our leaders coming in. We don't really have much of a movement from our ally. They're just getting chewed to pieces by these Demigryph Knights. They don't even move. Manticore is into the crossbows. Spearmen are trying to poke it, but that's fine. I just need these to be disrupted. And here comes our Minotaurs. We're going to get into these great swords, which they will do pretty well against.
Don't stop until they're all dead!
You can see the Giant is over here. I'm kind of keeping our leader out for right now, but he's about to be engaged by these spears. The thing is, he has low hit points and he doesn't have a healing capability, so I was kind of wary about putting him in here. Our Brave Shaman is coming up and casting that Wistian's Wild Form again on our whole army, which they've been doing this whole battle, which has increased our damage by a lot. You see people just flying off in the background. Here comes Karl Franz to try and shut down our Gorbel. At this point, I have used one of the 2 potions on each of our Gorbel. So you can see this one is pretty much okay, and the other one is okay as well. And they still have 1 potion of health remaining. Here comes some help from the Grail Knights again. There goes another Wistian's Wild Form out on our entire army. Again, increasing the armor by 15 and weapon damage by 22%. And look how quickly we shattered that Imperial army, for the most part. And we did get some help from the Grail Knights and the King, I will say that. But we got almost a total surround on their units, and we just crushed them here. We're in a 1v1 with the Gorbel and this Light Wizard. And yeah, they shattered so quickly. The Demigryph Knights were not around to actually stop us from destroying their army, which was a really bad call. They were just having so much fun destroying the Bretonnians for basically free. But that is a hidden boon for me. Since they were out destroying an immobile army because they just didn't move, they were just having some fun and just kind of were, I don't know. It was like kitty litter for these Demigryph Knights. They're having so much fun. But because they're away from the army, my Minotaurs were free to destroy all of the infantry like that. Still, these are 2 full Demigryph Knights, and they're coming in, and I'm like, oh man, we're pretty low at this point. You can see my Minotaurs, you know, they've destroyed 2 armies, so it's kind of alright that they're low health. But this is very worrying. 2 Demigryph Knights can still turn the tide of this battle. I, at this point, am very nervous seeing those Demigryph Knights come into fray. Because one of them is also Halberd Group, which is going to do so good against our Minotaurs. So right now, you can see, instead of fighting them, I'm going to try and take out their Lord to break their morale. That is my goal right now. I do not want to fight 2 full health Demigryph Knights as a very wrecked Minotaur army. If possible. As you can see, our Minotaurs are just going to drop. There's those Grail Knights. Pegasus Knights kind of destroying some shattered spears. That's cool. Luckily, we did it. We crushed their morale before the Demigryph Knights literally destroyed everything in my army. I was so lucky. If we did not get their Lord, if they pulled their Lord out, if they pulled Karl Franz out and just ran him and allowed the Demigryph Knights to fight, we would have lost. My army tore through 2 different ones. They were so weak, and the Bretonnians were picked off 1 by 1. I've just never seen stuff like that. And so I was so afraid. But luckily, we got him. We hit Karl Franz in the head. He was like, oh, and then he fell off his horse. I think we killed him, right? Maybe just shattered. I think we killed him. Oh, no, there he is right there. They just shattered. But we brought him low enough to shatter him, and it did a train route, and we pulled out a victory. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Good game to my opponents and my ally. Let's see the kills here. We got a lot of kills on Minotaurs and the Giant. Very good. Beastlord did okay. Let's see the Bretonnians. King Lewin got 40 kills. Grail Knights got 77. Pegasus Knights got 44. Cool. The dwarves got almost nothing. They got 52 kills off the organ gun, but the thing is, they were fighting Minotaurs for the most part, and not any, like, great amount of infantry, so their kills are going to kind of reflect that. They did manage to bring down a few Minotaurs amongst all of them, so that's cool. And then the Empire player got a couple kills here and there, but again, for the most part, they were fighting against Minotaurs, so their kill count's going to be pretty low. I really thought we were going to lose that. I really did, but these Minotaurs just pulled out. We crushed the Dwarf player so strong. If the Empire player just reinforced the Dwarf player from the get-go, and if those Demigryph Knights were sent against the Minotaurs, which I think you probably should. If you have a decision of go after against an enemy who's not moving, or go against a threat, go against the threat. Just team up against the threat. 2v1 them, destroy them, and then you're going to win. I was so lucky. So lucky this player decided to kill the Bretonnians instead of me. Because those two Demigryph Knights would have shut me down. So, again, good game to my opponents and my ally. I don't think there's really anything we need to cover in the army screen. We kind of know these units by now. So that's going to do it. Hope you all enjoyed this weird battle. I will see you all next time. Have a good day.